started slaughtering people out there. I'm expecting Konstantin Fedorov to be out on the field for Houston Heat. We're in the pits right now with Houston Heat. Chad George in the running for that golden barrel. Houston Heat has just been absolutely nasty here. What a scrappy performance. They took a loss in the prelims to San Diego Dynasty. I'm Matty Marshall. I got Tom Martinez up here. I also have Marcelo Margot to be our analyst for this penultimate game, the biggest game of the year. You cannot hype this game up more. Let's get a look here at the top killers. Chad George, 33 confirmed kills for him. Ryan Moorhead sitting at 25. What a big gap. Chad George has been on fire on the snake side. It's a creative snake side. There was a wishbone. It's not your traditional snake. Nico Hyde on that D side of the field, and Konstantin Fedorov finally getting that start, begging to get out on the field. 21 kills for him, and then 19 for San Monville. They're getting hyped up, but they're going to be taking on the Russian Legion, Todd, man. And the Russian Legion, in the beginning of the year, they were on fire. 3 events in a row. They took victories, 2 over in Europe, 1 here in the States. Break the Russians down for me.
The Russians feel like they've been in a street fight since this tournament began. They came out and had a brawl against NYX. Every single point that they play is just pedal to the metal every single time. They're constantly looking to attack. They want to beat you up and beat you up fast. They want to punish you. They want to play the scramble. They know what they're doing, though. It's not just let's go out there and shoot guns and see what happens. Everything is calculated. They're the most systemic team in paintball. They know exactly what they're doing, play by play, person by person, gunfight by gunfight. They are extremely talented and extremely disciplined. They are the team. This is a rematch of last year's final match, and they know that they dropped one last year, and they want to get it back.
These teams have played each other only once this year, and it was the Russians knocked Heat out of the quarterfinals in Philadelphia. Marcelo, let's bring you in here, man. You had a great weekend. I know it was not the look that you wanted from San Diego Dynasty. As we're looking in the pits, there is Malloy. Malloy most likely is going to win the Golden Barrel. I don't think anyone can catch him here at this point. Maybe Chad. If Chad goes off, I don't think so. I think Chad's so deep, though, in the Golden Barrel. That's the overall top killer for the year. But Malloy might be winning himself a Golden Barrel. 38 confirmed kills for him. Pavel Karslev is also in the race at 32. Karslev's been lights out on that D side. We got about 3 minutes and 28 seconds before the start of this first point here. World Cup Finals. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Marcelo, you've been here before. You've won this tournament. You played on the Russians. You've played against Houston Heat. You're incredibly familiar with this field. You had a good weekend. I know it's not the look that you guys wanted to have as Dynasty.
Sure.
Got knocked out again by AC Dallas in the quarterfinals. But break this field down for me. Whoever wins this specific matchup, what are they going to do well out here? Let's start on the D side.
Well, we can start on the D side, but Maddie, it's Sunday at the World Cup. You have to do everything well, especially with these two teams, the talent on both sides. You have to do absolutely everything well. The little details are going to matter, and I expect both teams to attack. It's going to start. Off-the-break shooting is going to be huge. The Russians have been doing a very good job of that all season long. Forget even just this event. That's what they do well. Their fundamentals are so crisp. Houston Heat, same thing, though. They have some extremely talented players, and it's going to be a brawl. I'm excited to see this matchup because Houston Heat and the Russians, while this is only a rematch from last year, they have had some epic battles over in Europe this year. Every single event they have played each other in the prelims, and it has been a total bloodbath. They just are running at each other. There is some sort of grudge match or rivalry, whatever you want to call it, that these two teams play with. When they play with each other, you got to keep in mind, obviously Fedorov, Mishka, they came from Russian Legion. Sergey was on Houston Heat last year, came back to Russian Legion this year, has been a huge help to that team. And both these teams just want to beat each other up, and this is the World Cup, biggest stage in the world, so I'm excited to see what goes down.
So the Russians coach right now here on your screen. And Todd, look, you're a coach, man. What's going on in the Russian coach's mind? They're facing Houston Heat right now. Scout me Houston Heat right this second.
Well, if you're the Russians, you are very familiar with the weapons on Houston Heat. You know that Chad George is one of, if not the best snake player in the game. If there's a weapon that you're going to take away, it's got to be Chad George. They want to try and limit him and not let him make moves up the field, make sure that he can't be out there when low body situations are happening to be able to close games. And there is nobody that likes to play the Russians more than Konstantin Fedorov. And they are very familiar with Konstantin Fedorov. Konstantin Fedorov wants to go out there and he wants to pound the Russians every single time he plays them.
Absolutely. In fact, I got a chance. We're working on 5 Sundays right now. It's our big documentary feature, a 5-putter, breaking down every single battle that happened on Sunday. And Malloy was not happy with Konstantin Fedorov's behavior the last time at World Cup. He said, your Russian Legion, remember where you came from. Don't try to show us up like that. And he put him on blast. You know, so that's a real rivalry. People talk about rivalries. There is absolutely a real rivalry between Konstantin Fedorov and the other Russian players on the Russian Legion. That's where he began. But, you know, he's been a star now forever, and he's won more World Cups. And let's get a look here at the fan predictions. It's pretty close. Houston Heat, 59%. Legion, 41. So Houston Heat are defending World Cup champions. They haven't won one yet this year, though, neither in Europe nor in the States. Man, this is going to be an intense battle. 25 seconds to go here. These teams with their starting 5 ready to go. And it looks like Houston Heat's going to be on your right to start. No, it looks like Legion is going to be on your right to start things out. Houston Heat on your left. The battle here in the World Cup about to begin on center court for the most important event of the year. Here we go. Marcelo, what do you think we're going to see here in this first point? Feeling each other out a little bit, or a car
I think they're
crash?
both going to run at each other. Yeah, hard crash. That's the way it's been all year. Here we go.
The running referee immediately coming in, and we might be seeing a penalty to start things out. Actually, they're just going to pull Sergey out, so a great break for Houston Heat as they get 2 kills to start things in this point number 1, and they're going to crawl a body up into the center, and it's Sam Monville who gets the start, the longtime veteran, very conservative, and it looks like Pavel Karslev's going to try to get into the wedge, and Monville could not stop him yet, but then he gets the kill on him, and so it is not looking good at all here for Red Legion in this first point.
No, and just 2 bodies left alive. Malloy is filled all the way out to the Dorito side. Smotrov is alive. He made it over here into the snake side mini wall, and it's just those 2 bodies left alive. So Malloy is going to try and look on the inside. Sam Monville from that center X is just going to pound and pound and pound Smotrov, but Heat loses 1 body. Chad George gets 1 from across the field.
And here comes a body flooding out wide, and I believe here's Konstantin Fedorov. Konstantin Fedorov still alive, and anytime he's out on the field in a big game, you never know what's going to happen here. But look at this, though. Smotrov, after losing Malloy from that D side, Smotrov's trying to turn the tables and pull off this low body situation. It's going to take a little bit of magic, though, but no one's touched him, and the sun's starting to get down in the sky. Looks like there goes a kill. He's going to get another one real quick, and Smotrov, he let him know he's going to get the drop on Konstantin Fedorov, and Leo Smotrov. Unbelievable, a 3-pack here in a low body situation. The young phenom, Leo Smotrov, coming up as the main attacker. He throws a pod into the ground. Unbelievable performance in a 3-pack for Leo Smotrov to put the first point on the board for Russian Legion. What do you guys point now?
Well, I don't know. Did Ryan Moorhead hit the buzzer?
Ryan
down
Moorhead
on the
hit the
end?
buzzer.
Yes.
Oh my God, Ryan Moorhead hit the buzzer.
All
Sorry,
that
I was
chaos,
watching all that
yes.
nastiness. That's how crazy it gets. I'm watching Smotrov feast over here and singing his praises, but look at that. The calm, collected killer in his, so veteran status for him. He used to be like Leo Smotrov, running reckless down the field, but he snuck that point in at that win at the end and barely. How close was it?
I mean, that was an absolutely amazing move by Smotrov. My jaw was on the floor up here, Maddie. I think yours was too. That's why we didn't even see Moorhead. Todd saw Moorhead down there, and I could tell in Smotrov's body language when he hit the buzzer. Here it is on your replay. Yeah, he realized that Smotrov heard the buzzer go, I think.
I think Smotrov. I think Moorhead shot Smotrov.
Oh, wow.
On his way there, but Smotrov crawled underneath Sam Monville's gun, went straight to the side. I think he came across and shot Nico first, and then shot Sam, and then bunkered Fedorov, and that was really close on that exchange.
Who was our MVP at World Cup last year? Ryan Moorhead. Ryan Moorhead just played lights out, spectacular paintball on Sunday to get the MVP. They also had Konstantin Fedorov was the MVP as well too. But man, Ryan Moorhead was just so consistent on the attack. Guy plays with no pads. He's a wild man. Also, congratulations, he just got married. And we're in the pits right now with Houston Heat. But what a crazy first point that was. It looked like Smotrov was going to win it, but then Ryan Moorhead snuck in to put the first one on the board. 23 seconds before the start of this next one. These teams switching sides right now, and we're following Konstantin Fedorov on his run out. And let's check in with the 4th member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly.
Yeah, there's actually some confusion down here about that first point. The computer read that the Russians conceded, but they are saying they did not throw in the towel for that point. So we're down here trying to figure that out right now.
What?
What? It wouldn't have mattered because Moorhead hit the buzzer.
Hit the buzzer anyway. So, yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of confusing things happen here. This is the World Cup, man. I know we keep saying that. We're saying it for a reason. This is the ultimate moment of the year. So, guys are leaving everything out on the field and, rolling the dice on moves.
Yeah, absolutely. But, man, what an epic point to start out here in that first point. Looks like Heat's taking it all the way with high bodies, and then a move by Smotrov. I think we got an epic battle in front of us.
And I think Lauren has us a little bit more of an update. Lauren, what's going on down there?
That point for Heat is going to be good. There was a lot of chaos and miscommunication in that Russian pit, and someone did concede it. It was not agreed upon, but that is what happened down here.
See, it's so tough though. Where the pits are, there, you have the pits are on the back line. It's so hard to get a read. Marcelo, talk to me about how difficult that is to get a read on what's going on out there with all this pandemonium happening as to whether or not you should or should not concede the point.
Yeah, that's really tough for a coach to do. I think in the beginning of a match, you give your players, time. You give them an opportunity. Towards the end of the match, it becomes more of a difference maker, whether or not you blow the buzzer. But Maddie, here we go, back in this point. Looks like a clean breakout for both teams, 5-on-5.
Russians initially doubling up that back center, but then they get Sergey out of that spot. Smotrov and Malloy attacking. Then Sergey is going to launch on the attack, but Houston Heat's going to lose Monville. They're going to lose Moorhead, and it looks like the running referee is going to come and check out the player in the back corner bunker, and that guy's going to die too. I think that is Nico Hyde over there, and he's checking his pack. So this is a really good break for Legion to try to tie it up with 13:08 to go here, Todd.
Yeah, and Nico lucky to not get a penalty as he had to get yanked off that side of the field there. But Russians, after losing that first one, coming right back, getting quick kills, continuing to their onslaught and their aggressive play, winning 1 point right here to tie it up.
So they're not conceding it. They're going to make Malloy walk in to hit that buzzer. It looks like Kirill was still alive, Sergey and Karslev, so they're definitely just running with that standard starting five. The Russians did not have their starting five at the fourth event. They didn't get out of the quarterfinals as they ended up taking the loss to AC Dallas in a 1-point game, but Karslev really showed his skill out there in coming over to the snake side. Marcelo, you play all over the place, but that's so many more variables you have to learn, but also when you're kind of playing in a bunch of these different positions, it's going to make you better because you know what those other guys are looking at.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's something that a lot of the fans don't get to see often. The fans don't get to see these top-level players play on both sides of the field. They can do it, and Karslev has definitely proven it. He's an attacker, and so when he comes over and plays on the snake side, he starts to figure out the Dorito side a little bit better, because he starts to see the shots. He knows what he needs to do to protect himself in certain situations, where he needs to get to be a threat for the snake guys. So, it's good to play both sides of the field as an attacker.
All right, let's look at the Golden Barrel. There's Karslev, and Karslev has really stepped up this year and become a star. He's a beast on that D side. If you're playing the Russians and you can't stop that man there on your screen, number 92 for the Russian Legion, you're not going to beat that team. And let's get a look here at the so in World Cup, we don't know who's going to get it yet, but in Vegas, it was Justin Rabakov, 46 for him, and then Smotrov stepped up in Texas, the exact same kill count, 46 there. Archie stepped it up with 52 in Philadelphia and their big win, and then even though they took second place, Matt Jackson with 54 was able to get that Golden Barrel. So who is in the race right now? Where are we? So it looks like we are going to award the Golden Gun winner, and it is going to be Alexander Burtnikov. He's probably going to get some more kills, but no one's going to be able to catch him. I mean, the only one still playing right now is Chad George, and he's way down at 164. His teammate, Karslev, there's no way he's putting up enough points to even contend with Malloy. So, I mean, and we're also got to start talking about who the overall MVP for the year is. I think we still got a little more paintball to be played out here and see what happens. But, man, Alexander Burtnikov, former teammate of yours, and just a magician out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
A legend in his own time. Tie ball game right now, 12:47 to go here. This game brought to you by GI Sports, the final match of the 2019 NXL season. And on the breakout, it looks like Smotrov's going to get peeled off the break. And a good break for Houston Heat. They have not lost a body yet.
Konstantin Fedorov being aggressive up in the middle. First goes to the Dorito side tower, now switches over here to the snake side tower after he sees Smotrov walk off. Chad George making it out wide. He's over here playing heads up. 4 Russians stuck in the back 3 bunkers, and Kirill is in that snake side temple.
Yeah, so, and tucked in those back spots. And, from an analytical perspective, you watch a ton of film, obviously, and you've watched this entire tournament, played this tournament. Marcelo, defense not really working on this field.
Absolutely not working on this field, especially when you're down bodies. You've seen a lot this weekend. The team that's down bodies and decides to attack has prevailed.
Chad George making his move into the wedge and asking a referee to go in there and check out that back center, and we might see a penalty on Sergey potentially. No, it looks like they're just going to pull him out. Wow. But Chad George gets shot cross field, and then here comes a big move by Konstantin Fedorov as he's going to come off and he's going to smoke his former teammate Malloy. He's also going to get a 2-pack here, and he's going to get another shot in on Kirill Peridny as Konstantin Fedorov gets the kill cross field on Karslev, and he came to play some paintball yet again. You can never sleep on Konstantin Fedorov at the World Cup, man. He's a legend also in his own time, just like Malloy. And who's the best Russian ever? Is it Malloy? Is it Konstantin Fedorov? They're still out there and playing this game. They're battling for that title right now here at the last event in 2019.
With Konstantin Fedorov making the finals here, I believe that it is just one more straight World Cup finals that Fedorov has played in. I believe this might be his 10th straight World Cup finals. I know that there was a streak that was at least 7 or 8 before. That was a couple years ago. Made it last year. He's in it again. I don't think anybody has been in the finals as many times as Konstantin Fedorov.
Unbelievable consistency at the deepest water you could possibly find to swim in professional paintball. And yeah, but overall though, Rainey Stanzik has the most wins since the inception, the current modern incarnation of the NXL. He has the most wins. Now, again, with Fedorov, he's been playing for a long time. So has Rainey. Sure. So if we're talking legendary status on wins overall, going way back, PSP, all the way back into the 2000s, we're talking about Konstantin Fedorov.
Right, exactly.
But most recently, Rainey Stanzik with his switch over to X Factor and on Impact during their ride, and then now getting those extra wins for X Factor, he's actually he has the most wins of any individual player since the inception of the NXL.
There you go, Rainey. I mean, that speaks to his pedigree. Rainey's a very intelligent player. He plays with a lot of emotion. He brings a lot to the teams that he goes to. So I'm not entirely surprised by that.
2-1 is the score. Legion down a point here with 11 minutes and 38 seconds to go. About 20 seconds to go before the start of this next one, and the Russians are just riding their starting 5. Here comes, it looks like Nico Hyde is going to get the nod again with Moorhead, Chad George, Konstantin Fedorov, and Sam Monville. Mad respect to Sam Monville to earn that starting nod here in this World Cup final. He deserves it. Here we go. Can Legion scrap back and tie this one up as they try to get out wide here on the snake side? And then a bunch of secondary moves, a highly aggressive secondary break here for the Russians, and it doesn't look like they lose any bodies. They're going to send Sergey up into D4 real quick here on the delay. Karslev got out to D2. A little bit more conservative breakout here for Houston Heat.
Yeah, up in that middle. Now Kirill's going to be able to lock off this snake side of the field because Houston Heat lost one body and they didn't get anybody up into that middle off the break. So really good field position right now for the Russians. Smotrov up over top of the snake side mini wall. Biernikov on the inside next to him. And Sergey has gone to the second inside Dorito with lots of really good shots. Karslev on the outside right next to Sergey. He is in that spot that makes that back center get really small real quick.
Now Sergey going to make his move across the wedge. Also, I mean, he's just playing the aggressor. He's, Karslev's over there too, but Sergey's going to be the first to go. He makes it in clean. The Russians really putting the pressure on Houston Heat. Now, we have not seen, Marcelo, break this down again for me. Defense not working. What's going on right here with the Russians on this attack?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Russians are making it extremely difficult for Houston Heat because they are 5 alive and they're still pressing into Houston Heat. Houston Heat, their bunkers are all getting very small. You see Konstantin Fedorov in the back center getting pinched from both sides, forcing Chad George to get out.
Oh, and Chad
on the fill.
He does get shot on the fill, but not before he gets the shot on Smotrov, but then another body comes off at San Monville. Here comes Fedorov. He's going to try to do the desperation run out wide, and he might have got clipped from that D side, and it looks like he does. So bloodbath right here. Yeah, but Kirill Peridny's still alive, but then Kirill Peridny gets pulled off. That's a bad death for Kirill, but Malloy is still alive, and there goes Nico Hyde, and I think that Sergey and Karslev did the damage from that D side, so we are going to have a tie ball game right now, Todd.
Yeah, Sergey and Karslev got deep penetration there early, and once Heat lost their first body, Fedorov tried to go to the Dorito side temple to get an attack, and then ran back over here to that center can, got bounced, and then the attack came from Sergey and Karslev down that Dorito side. Here's the breakout that you see. Very aggressive movement around and up for both Karslev and Sergey. And then here comes on the move Chad George, steps out to the outside to get that shot in on Smotrov, but Chad George gets shot from the Dorito side, Sam Monville gets shot from the Dorito side, then Fedorov gets shot on the fill as well.
Beastly gun presence from Sergey, and look at Sergey just staring down the field at his former team. I mean, there's a lot of bad blood behind the scenes, and I mean, that's the real deal here. So
you're seeing. Sorry, Maddie.
No, go for it. Break it down for me.
This is an exciting game. I mean, you're seeing exactly what I was speaking to. Every single match these teams have played against each other this year, over in Europe mostly, is when I got to see them play, and they were just clashing. You could tell that they just want to rip each other's faces off, to
Yeah.
be completely honest. And they're doing that out here.
It has been that way since the first time they played. When Sergey, Mishka, and Fedorov all went to Houston Heat, that very first game that these two teams met, it was a bloodbath, and has been a bloodbath every match since.
Yeah, this is a great matchup for the World Cup.
You know, two of the best paintball teams ever to do it here, Houston Heat, forming in 2012 and immediately just starting to get wins, and they became a top team with their all-star roster. And here is the race for the Golden Barrel right now. Alexander Burtnikov, just 3 kills in front of Chad George. Chad George got another one before he died in that last one, but Pavel Karslev is also right behind him. We have 9 minutes and 42 seconds left. It's tied at 2. It could either be Burtnikov, George, Karslev, BJ's out, Smotrov's in there too. He's at 32. Any one of those 4 men could potentially hoist this Golden Barrel I have in front of me here. This Golden Gun, though, that's going to be Alexander Burtnikov's. He's going to be taking this one home.
Yeah, it looks that way and much deserved. Malloy, Alexander Burtnikov is one of the best to ever do it. Hands down, he's so creative out there, always finding opportunities, finding ways to will his team to a victory, no matter what the situation is. It's just amazing to watch.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for a better one so far here, as it's 2-2. 9 minutes and 42 seconds left. Crowds are packed out here. This game brought to you by GI Sports, and then here we go all the way around. Chad George with an unconventional route up to the second, up to the double cakes here, and he's going to shoot that cross-field lane. What's your favorite spot on the snake side, Marcelo? To insert-wise, at least.
Insert-wise, that little wind bunker is really good. There's a lot of opportunity from there, but you can get held up there. So I really like what Chad did, passing it into the little cake where there's not many good shots, but it makes it a lot easier to get into the position that Chad is now, which is the big snake wedge. He does get taken out, though, as I say that.
Yeah, it's going to hurt his chances for that Golden Barrel. And here comes San Monville. Monville going to crawl up in there, but the Russians are going to lose a body. They are pushing up with Sergey up on that D side. That looks like Golev gets a spin, and he gets bunkered out by Monville. Sergey's still alive, though, for the Russians on that D side. But here comes Konstantin Fedorov, and I don't think he had the count or knew where that body was, because he just threw his body away right now. Smotrov's still alive here, snake side.
Yeah, Fedorov just trying to make things happen, but Smotrov is over here in the 50, but Heat breaks through on the other side. Looks like Nico Hyde is still alive. I think this is a one-on-one situation.
Oh, and it looks like Smotrov might have caught Nico Hyde. He's asking for a check, and then Smotrov's gonna, get that kill. And then now, even though Smotrov got that first point stolen for him, now he's gonna get the crucial kill cross-field on Nico Hyde, and he's getting checked out by the referee. Russians may be taking the lead here as long as we get a thumbs up. We do. Nice job by Leo Smotrov.
Maddie, the crowd is rowdy out here, and they are screaming and yelling the entire match. You're not allowed to yell and coach anymore, but it's hard to tell the fans to not cheer when they're getting excited out here. Communication is going to be very tough.
Yeah,
that's why I think Fedorov took off. That's why Nico didn't know that Smotrov was still alive. He came booking down that sideline and then had to pump the brakes, and Smotrov was like, oh man, is that one of their guys?
Yeah, dude.
I'm sure Nico Hyde thought the exact same thing.
Yeah, and he caught him. So luckily for the Russians, he was able to get that shot on Nico Hyde. But yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. The stands are completely filled. It's basically standing room only. People are walking around. It's obviously late in the day here on the day 4 of this competition. So everyone's been enjoying their adult beverages and having a good time. And it's absolutely getting rowdy out here. Looking at, again, the Golden Barrel leaders here. And it was, the Golden Gun leaders, and it is Alexander Burtnikov going to take it. Hard-fought battle, though. Archie Montemayor ended up with 184. If X Factor had gone through, we might be talking about Archie taking that Golden Barrel home. The Golden Gun home. Now, and then Matt Jackson, what a great year for Matt Jackson. He won the Golden Barrel, even without having won a tournament, but such a frustrating, disappointing finish here for AC Dallas. Even though they beat Dynasty for the 3rd time, they kind of got destroyed by the Russians in that semifinals. As good as the quarterfinals were, 3 overtime games, the semifinals were dominant wins for Houston Heat and for the Russians. And this game here brought to you by, also got to mention ARC Anodizing here. Use the discount code ARC2020 for 20% off your next order. Big shout out to my boy Ryan Hall. Any marker, fully custom. Again, 20% off your next order, and the creator of the 2019 season Top Gun Award. It's literally sitting in front of me right now, and a beautiful energizing job. Nice job, Ryan Hall. Thank you so much.
All right, here we go. That's the view that we have from up here, looking down on this field. Russian Legion up 3-2 with 8:30 on the clock over Houston Heat.
And jumping into this next point, 5 break at least initially here, and the Russians are going to be doubling up that back center. A little bit more of a risk here.
And Sam Monville getting in good position in that center X. He's going to go to the tower and try and get a secondary filler quickly.
Like I said, a little bit more risk here for Houston Heat as they're trying to get up in that center. They do. Monville's been relentless on his attack. Up in that center, they filter Fedorov out from that back center and get him out. But those cans, kind of terrible though, Marcelo.
Yeah, the cans are really tough to play on this field, but you know, they do have good shots off the break. You just want to get out of there. This field, again, like we keep saying, is an aggressive field. Secondary moves are pretty big, but as we were talking, Panteleev got shot out of the snake side corner for Russian Legion, so it looks like Smotrov might have sat this point. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, that's an interesting call there to put. Look, Pantelev's great, but Leo Smotrov, maybe he needed a rest.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
absolutely.
It's a long tournament. It is a little bit warmer this afternoon than it's been past couple days here. 7:24 to go. Legion with the 1-point lead as it looks like another body coming off, and it is the Golden Gun winner, and that's Malloy. And then also they're going to get the shot in on Sergey as he tries to get up in the center. So Houston Heat is starting to whittle the bodies down right now for the Russians.
Yeah, Fedorov and Chad George turn Sergey's face yellow as he comes walking off the field. But that was a nice shot by Fedorov to shoot Sergey going in the middle. But then Fedorov gets clipped by Denis Golev, the last body over there on that Dorito side. But Moorhead's still alive, Monville's still alive, Nico's still alive, and Houston Heat going to tie this one up.
Beautiful point for Houston Heat. Ton of bodies left alive with that starting lineup of theirs. Good read and react by Chad to get up there and hit that buzzer. And let's get a little look here at some of these replays. These points are getting chaotic. So Chad George, back bunker here on the snake side of the field. He's got Fedorov in front of him. Fedorov ended up get that kill. And then here's that move by Karslev on the D side, man. He's the brutalizer for the Russians on that D side. It's very tough to play the Russians if you can't isolate and kill Karslev, and that is exactly what Houston Heat just did. You get Karslev off the field, you always take a deep breath because he's been so phenomenal this year. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. I interviewed Ryan Moorhead and Randy Smith prior to this finals match. Ryan Moorhead told me that 2 to 3 hour wait for this finals game makes them feel like caged tigers, full of aggression and hunger. Randy Smith told me that a couple of the Heat players are playing with personal and professional chips on their shoulders, so we'll see if they can take the lead here against Moscow Red Legion.
This would be a massive statement to themselves, to their franchises, to the league, to the rest of the top teams out here to win this for either one of these squads. The Russians, X Factor stole all their glory after that run they won on midseason. Houston Heat, yeah, defending world and series champs, but since then not able to put a win on the board either in Europe or in the States, and this is their job. This is what they do. Randy gives them great support. They have everything they need to fulfill their mission, which is to win paintball tournaments. So if the Russians can pull off this win, it would be absolutely massive. They're going to steal that glory back. Houston Heat, same thing there. For them to go an entire year not getting any victories, but they've been so consistent. Houston Heat sitting at 3rd place overall with a 2nd, a 4th, a 5th, and a 3rd. And it's funny because when you talk to Ryan Moore, he's like, we're built to win. We don't care if we take a 7th or an 8th. We want to get victories, but they've been so consistent with no wins. So this is huge. Also, if the Russians win this one, they're going to get the series championship and the World Cup at the same time. Now, if Houston Heat takes it, that's going to give the series title to San Antonio X Factor. And here is, look how close this running is for that golden barrel. Chad George, 37. Alexander Burtnikov, 38. Pavel Karslev and Smotrov are both in there too. BJ, he's already packed his bags and he's heading home, so he is not going to be in this conversation. But we got ourselves a 4-player runoff here to see who's going to win this golden barrel that's sitting in front of me right now.
Yeah, welcome to the jungle, Maddie, because the Tigers are out of the cage right now. They're running around full sprint, chasing down the feeble animals that don't belong out there.
Want to eat some raw meat.
Just there for food. So, Clash of the Titans, this is what we expected. But, man, 3-3, no love lost. If that wasn't a question, if you couldn't tell by that last beating that Sergey took walking off the field, then I don't know how else to explain it to you.
Okay, so Marcelo, 20 seconds to go before the start of this next point. It's tied 3-3. What's going on in their minds right now, tactically speaking? What do we think we're going to see on this breakout?
I think they're going to keep punching each other. It's working for both teams, and at this point, I was about to say, what a pace.
Right?
I think they're going to keep this pace up. This pace is going to continue. It's the type of pace that both teams like to play. So here we go back in this, and of course, Russian Legion back up in that center.
It has been blow for blow, overhand right for overhand right, gunfight for gunfight, move for move right now, man. 6 minutes and 46 seconds left to go. Tied up. Russian sneaking a body off, though. I can't even see who that was. That's Smotrov.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. He's dead. So that's going to hurt his chances to get some more kills. So Houston Heat locked in that more conservative breakout with 5 bodies across the back, but they also shoot Golev. So the the conservative breakout works this time, and the Russians might want to think about conceding this one. They have lost a ton of bodies. That's it. This point's over. They need to hit that buzzer and throw that towel in and preserve the time. Maybe they're just going to let this one roll out, though. No, now they're going to throw the towel in. What a masterful gunfight clinic here, an off-the-break shot clinic that Houston Heat just put on. So, Marcelo, talk to me about these off-the-break shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and you know what? I don't know how many kills there were off the break. I don't know if we could have stats on that, because a lot of the positions you need to sit in to get some of these big kills are a little risky. So instead of running far, you have the option to sit in these blind zones and pick up some big kills. The back center has really good shots. Snake side, anybody running past that little wind bunker, if he chooses to sit far back, along the start gate, he can shoot before the little wind bunker. We call it the God bunker. Dorito side, the shots aren't that great, but you see players running into the snake side can, shooting cross field, trying to get those shots. A lot of running and shooting off the break, shooting back into those center areas. It comes down to the drills, your fundamentals, your technique, how good is your skill set. And obviously Houston Heat in that point showed why they're one of the best.
So a 1-point lead right now for Houston Heat. 4-3 with 6:20 to go. We're about a minute away. We're looking in the pits. There is the new coach, Sarge, here for Houston Heat. The owner of the team, his son, playing again. And this game is brought to you by GI Sports in the Imperial program, the 2020 Imperial program. For the details, go all in. So GI Sports excited to announce and bring you news concerning the 2020 Imperial program. They've been informing the players, teams, and dealers to make the 2020 program the best in paintball. So definitely want to hit up your GI Sports representative and paintballsponsorship.com, and definitely want to try to work with the best paintball manufacturer on planet Earth. So here we go, just 20 seconds before the start of this next one. We couldn't have got a better game.
Absolutely
no blowout.
not.
It's just been blow for blow here, and it is just a 1-point match. But Houston Heat trying to repeat here, Todd, as the World Cup champions.
Yeah, you saw Houston Heat in the pit down there. Nothing but composure, pure communication. Everybody is not too high, not getting down low, just making sure that everybody understands what the job is that needs to be done and go out here and execute it.
On the breakout now, the Russians going to be on the right-hand side, and looks like, Russians left-hand side, and the Russians now going to run a body up into that center. They lose another one, so off-break shots are dialed in, and it's Malloy again. And it looks like Smotrov might be coming off. Houston Heat is dialed in right now on these off-the-break shots. A 2-quick kill advantage here for him off the break, even though Kirill Pridny looks like he's taking some ground in that center, Marcelo.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a way to get your team back in the game if you can be up in that center, especially undetected. I'm not sure if Houston Heat knows that Kirill's in there. I think so, because Kirill's shooting his gun. But Houston Heat, right now, they now do not have to go anywhere. They have a body advantage. They have pretty good field advantage. And, yeah, 2 bodies down for Russian Legion. Let's see how many for Houston Heat. I see Chad George out here in the snake corner.
Well, they definitely have the back center bunker as well with Fedorov. They have San Monville at the mini wall in the center, and then Nico Hyde. They have a full complement of players. They're also into D3, so it's a 5-on-3 situation. 2-body advantage right now for Houston Heat. 5:20 on the clock. Now, you pulled off some low-body magic out here. What's going on in your mind in the low-body situation? What are you thinking?
Obviously, there's a lot to think about, Matty. It depends on the clock and the score, but right now, if you're Russian Legion down a point, you got to understand that your coach is thinking about blowing the buzzer, so you're not supposed to win the situation. Go try to make something happen. You see this going down right now with the Russians. Kirill hops over to Houston Heat side of the field.
Sergey and Karslev trying to make something happen, but Kirill is on to Houston Heat side of the field, playing aggressive, even down bodies. That's what has been working on this layout.
Yes, for sure. It's worked the past couple events, actually. It's kind of how the game, and look, the aggressor, it pays off.
Nico
and Houston
Hyde
Heat loses Nico Hyde.
So it is now a 4-on-3 situation. The Russians need this one to tie. Time ticking off the clock. The Russians trying to preserve this, Houston Heat trying to preserve this lead. And here comes Konstantin Fedorov. No one shooting out, and there's no one on the snake side. He finally realizes it, takes out Kirill, and now he's off to the races. He's gonna get an easy crossfield kill, and then that is gonna do it. Blows a couple kisses to the sky and bows to the crowd and goes and puts another point on the board for Houston Heat. It's their 5th point, and now, Todd, a 2-point lead. What do the Russians need to do right now?
The Russians need to keep their bodies alive over here on the snake side. They lost those 2 bodies on the break. We've seen Smotrov get shot a couple times now trying to make fills up, but the Houston Heat's doing a really good job of isolating Karslev. Once he gets up that field, they're not letting him break down into that 40 wedge and get kills in abundance. They're making the Russians work for everything that they get right here. They're constantly putting the pressure on and getting in that middle of the field with Sam Monville. I don't think I've seen Sam Monville run and dive into a spot more times in the entire season that he has in this event right now, but he is just doing work for them and letting guys like Konstantin Fedorov, who's built for this moment, to come out here and be himself. Chad George, but got to give it to those two guys on the Dorito side right now for Houston Heat. Nico Hyde and Ryan Moorhead are playing some amazing paintball. They're staying alive, and they're blowing down that side every single time. So if you're the Russians, you want to try and get a kill on the break. They're constantly losing that first body.
Well, let's talk early MVP discussion here for finals. Heat right now with the lead. Looking like if they can keep this going, they're shooting those bodies. Marcelo, there's just someone standing out to you right now in Houston Heat for MVP just for the finals.
Yeah, right now I feel like it's got to be Fedorov. He's had a couple massive points with 2 and 3 packs. And, you know, I've always said it about Houston Heat. For them to win, he's got to be playing on fire, and I feel like he's doing that right now.
Todd, your thoughts?
I love the way that Konstantin Fedorov is playing, but, you know, when you're talking about just being a big factor, Sam Monville should definitely be in that discussion right now because he is doing that job every single time, and that's really freeing up his guys on the outside.
Also, Chad George. He's got the most kills, and he is the presence over here, also making moves happen and stealing points for Houston Heat Snake side. So that's how you win World Cup, when we have 3 different types of ideas about who's supposed to be the MVP. Well, someone might earn it right here, or is Legion going to come back and try to tie this one up? 4:15 on the clock. We'll see if Legion now on the right-hand side of your screen. They're currently there, dead center, and it looks like nobody dropping here.
Nico Hyde, first body to come off that Dorito side for Houston Heat, as well as
Chad George in the snake corner.
This is a huge break. The Russians do lose Sergey, though, so it's a 4-on-3 situation, and the Russians, this is the most important point of their year. What are they going to do? They're in a slight high body situation. Can they capitalize is the question.
Yeah, so it looks like a 4-on-3 situation right now in favor of Russian Legion as Russians lose Sergey.
And it looks like they're going to be losing Fedorov over here for Houston Heat. 2 bodies left alive. Ryan Moorhead fills out to the Dorito side corner. He's got Ryan Smith next to him on the inside. I'm sorry, Sam Monville.
Oh, the referee is going to pull a penalty, though, on Malloy. Couldn't see if it was a major or a minor. Was that a major, Marcelo?
He threw a red flag, but it looks like he only pulled 1 player, so maybe he meant for it to be a minor.
So, minor penalty, but a little bit of a gift for Houston Heat. Looks like it's 2-on-2, but then Smotroff dies.
And Cozy Rev is walking off that Dorito side.
Wow, so Cozy Rev getting a start here with down 2 with 3 minutes left in the finals. That's a lot of confidence they have in somebody that's not Karslev on the D side.
In his defense, Matty, he got pulled on that penalty from Malloy.
So just 1 player left alive here for the Russians, and I believe it is Denis Golev, a longtime veteran of the squad. He's amazing as well, too. We've seen Golev pull off stuff like this before. He is no stranger to these deep waters, as it doesn't get any deeper than this. You're down by 2. You're the only player left alive. They're not conceding the point. There's only 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. What is Denis Golev going to do in this situation? Marcel, you pulled a situation off like this weekend.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. The coach right now, his hand is on the buzzer. He is waiting for something to happen. So Golev needs to understand that and just try to go get this point.
Be proactive. Be proactive.
Exactly. Be proactive, exactly. So that just like now, he just got shot. The team can, at least now they have 2 minutes and 15 seconds. You know, they're going to be down by 3, but you don't want to let that point run on any longer.
And it's also tough because you don't necessarily want to concede what could potentially be the winning point. A 3-point spread with 2:20 left to go, that's a big, tall order, even for the Russians. So, I mean, just look, the Russians are getting some tough breaks here, but some tough breaks that they deserve. Getting shot out of spots, penalties. Houston Heat, though, across the board, finesse, off the break shots are dialed in. Things are looking pretty solid. But also, I mean, the Russians may be losing this tournament, and it's not much of a consolation prize if you're Alexander Burtnikov, but he is going to be winning this golden gun that I have in my hands right now here, courtesy of GI Sports. So, and thank you so much to Arc Anodizing for getting this done for us and polishing this thing up and putting this golden plate on it. So, and then also we're going to be awarding this golden barrel I don't know who is getting in the running for this one quite yet. Well, we know who's in the running, but I don't know as it stands right now what the kill count total is. But this golden gun here and this trophy, it's a trophy. You know, I mean, look, they're sponsored by Dye. He's not going to be able to use this, but it's just something that, you know, Empire and GI stepped up for. Arc Anodizing stepped up to create something that we could give as a trophy to the best player of the year. It's just on pure killing ability. Obviously, we still need to hand out an overall MVP. I think Malloy's in the running for that, too. And then we can make a couple arguments for some other guys. Archie Montemayor, maybe for San Antonio X Factor.
Yeah,
I think I might even give it to Archie over Malloy, just because of how amazing it's been. 5 years since they won tournaments, 2 in a row. You know, and the Russians going to potentially lose to Houston Heat. Now, this isn't over yet. We still have some time left in this, and we have seen the Russian Legion with historic comebacks before.
Yeah, totally, Maddie. That's going to be a tough one to call. I do agree with you, though. Archie Montemayor bringing X Factor to 2 back-to-back wins earlier this season. You know, the Russians are paid to play paintball full-time, and this is their job. They have an amazing system, but Archie has, you know, with Alex Martinez and Ryan Brand, the whole crew they have over there, and it's been a long time coming, you know. So,
Todd, what are your thoughts? I would vote Archie overall MVP for the year. What do you think?
I'd really like to pick it after this game. You know.
No, I know, but I mean, Houston Heat, they won 2. Houston Heat's not going to win the series. If Houston Heat wins this and continues this, X Factor wins the series. If Archie doesn't have the year that he had,
absolutely.
I mean, we're talking about most valuable player.
Yeah.
I mean, for my vote's for Archie. But you're in this too. You're always in this conversation. I need your opinion.
My vote would 100% be for Archie. You know, I mean, I might even throw Rainey Stanzak in that conversation right there. But if somehow the Russian Legion comes back and they win this tournament, then it's got to be Alexander Bierdnikov.
Yeah. And who won it last? Who won it last year?
Golden Barrel winner.
Yep.
And then
helps his team win the World Cup. Well, and so can he steal it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds from Archie? That's what's at stake right now.
Here is the breakout.
Here we go.
Here come the Russians. Houston Heat's doubled up in that back center. Smotrov all the way up and across. Referee running in. There goes Fedorov. He walks off. Sam Monville getting a check. Russians on full court.
Oh, we're going to have a minor penalty assessed on Sam Monville, and that is going to pull out Ryan Moorhead. So the Russians have an opportunity here. They need 3. They only have 1 minute and 57 seconds left, and it's looking like they're going to get 1 here. So they're going to need 2 with maybe minute 50. We'll see if they can get in and hit that buzzer. There goes Kirill Peridny's going to hit that buzzer. Get checked out by the ref.
This is why I didn't want to give you my answer yet, Maddie, because we've seen the Russians do this very often, and it's not like they're just all of a sudden running aggressive plays. This is the way that they've been playing this entire event. So, you know, this is not in the bag. It's not over. You know, the fat lady ain't singing. You know, there's still time on that clock. There's still a chance that this could go either way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Look, man, we've seen the Russians have these insane comebacks, and they play so well on that reckless offense, the flying V, running up the field, trying to put guys in and just make moves, and it works out for them a lot. And a lot of people wonder, why is that way, Marcelo? And break that down a little bit for me. Why do those reckless attacks work so often?
Well, I think it's because they appear reckless, but like Todd said earlier, it's not reckless. It's very structured. It's aggressive, but it's structured. And these guys know what they're doing, and it becomes very overwhelming for their opponents. You know, when you are playing out there and you have players that are just shooting and moving, trying to get into all the good spots and pinching you out, it becomes really difficult to do many things on the field. It becomes difficult to communicate. It becomes difficult to shoot your gun. It's really, really tough.
But it's also mental tenacity. Some guys, when they're put in this pressure situations, they get better. Guys like Fedorov, Malloy, Mishka, Kirill, all, you know, pretty much everybody that's been on the field for the last several points, you know?
Yeah, this is what we wanted to see here. The biggest stage that paintball allows, the NXL World Cup. It's the last game of the year, and it's a 2-point spread here. Houston Heat, though, is going to try to just hold on for dear life. But also, you got a little bit more time, man. You guys just came out with the Field 1 Force. This is the very first one. This is a little bit of a piece of history here. Serial number 001. And if you go to Motivated for Mav, their website, it's for the number 4 and then mav.org. You still have a chance to bid on this because it's going to close here pretty quick, and it's been bid up. It's been bid up a lot, which is awesome for the foundation.
Yeah, totally. Last I saw was at $2,800. Like you said, awesome for the foundation. I'm in full support of that foundation. Obviously, Pev has done so much for our sport, so anything to support him and his family and their cause, I'm all about.
It's at $3,000 right now.
That is awesome.
All right, so we're jumping into what could be the last point. Who knows, man? There's a minute and 42 seconds left. We've seen blow for blow, quick points here, and it looks like 2 bodies are coming off right now for Houston Heat. Referee's going to pull out. Look at the Russians are summoning the Spirit again, and they're pushing up, but they're also losing bodies. Smotrov is still alive. He's going to run reckless into the snake. Did he get clipped? It looks like he is good to go, but they are losing everybody else. There goes Krill Peridny. And then Karslev comes off, but Smotrov stays low, and he is also looking into the sun a little bit, trying to see if there's any players left alive right now for Houston Heat. I don't see anybody left alive. He's using his hand as a visor, and he's going to run in and hit that buzzer. So with just a minute and 8 seconds left to go, the Russians are still in this one and only down by 1.
Maddie, I'm telling you, they shot Monville on the break. They knew Monville wanted to get up and back up in that center. He hadn't gone there in a couple points. Went back up in there, shot him on the break, instantly started charging. They only lost Sergey on the aggressive movement, but Karslev was in the 40 wedge pretty much on the break. So Smotrov, he used the confusion over there on the Dorito side to sneak in here and help finish the game, but they're charging through the middle. Sergey's running with that big gun through that Dorito alley, and Karslev, probably the reason why they kept him off the field was to give him that little break to make sure that he had that energy to make this comeback.
Yeah, and look, Karslev, we've been talking about it. We're going to continue to talk about it. If you can't shut Karslev down on the D side, you're going to lose to the Russians. And he just continues to, earn his stripes and earn his keep playing for that squad. And talking to him, he's been working for years to become an overnight sensation. I mean, he's been literally playing on the Russians since he was a teenager. He's 27 years old. And he's not a kid. He didn't just come up. He's not 21. Smotrov's 21. He's not 21. He's a grown man. But finally, after all that hard work, it's paying off because how often do we mention the name Karslev? All the time when the Russians are playing. Why? Because he's a dominant beast, just destroying people on that D side of the field. Speaking of dominant beast, there's Chad George that's about to come out here to try to seal up this win for Houston Heat. A minute and 9 seconds away from deciding who is going to be the World Cup champions. There's the legend himself, Konstantin Fedorov, MVP from the last year's World Cup. And let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. Yeah, as you're watching Chad George walk onto the field, I was in the Heat pit. After that last point, he ran into the pits and said, "Come on, guys. We've been in worse situations than this. Remember World Cup just last year." He said they just need to focus, work together, and pull out one more minute to take this win.
That's exactly what needs to happen. Well, actually a minute and 9 seconds, but sure, call it a minute. 1 point separates these teams. We're 15 seconds away from the start. You're looking at, there's Houston Heat, Konstantin Fedorov, Chad George, Sam Monville continuing to be out there, Ryan Moorhead and Nico Hyde. That is the best starting 5 that Houston Heat can summon for this last moment, possibly the last moment of the year too. Can Legion get it done? Here we go. On the breakout, Legion's gonna streak Karslev. He's gonna run all the way to the wedge off the break. They're also gonna send Malloy to the center, and here comes Sergey. So an aggressive push as we hit the minute mark. 2 bodies have come off for Houston Heat from that D side of the field. Ryan Moorhead's coming off. There goes Nico Hyde. They only have 3 players left alive, Todd.
Yep, here comes the push. Here comes the secondary push. There goes Konstantin Fedorov, just 2 players left alive. Here comes Malloy down the middle. He shoots Chad George in the back.
Malloy.
He bunkers out the back center.
Malloy.
There's 41 seconds on the clock. And the Russians are going to be able to go and tie this up.
And Golev is the safety valve over here, but getting dunked on in that back center. 3 players alive, it looks like, for the Russians. And a 4-pack for Malloy to put the finishing touches on the beautiful year. And we just talked about this. Who's going to get the overall series title? If the Russians win this and Malloy just gets a 4-pack?
And if the Russians win this, then they will have won 2 tournaments as well.
And exactly. So then we have to have the full-on argument. So especially if he gets the golden gun, Malloy might be stealing the overall MVP away from Archie Montemayor right now.
As soon as
and the series title from X Factor.
That's what I'm saying. How would you give it to Archie Montemayor if these guys have a come-from-behind victory to win World Cup, to win 2 events, to win the Golden Gun, and have 2 players that won Golden Barrels throughout the season?
No, I'm with you on that. I totally agree, and that's why I saw that smile on your face when you were having the discussion, and you're like, this game's not in the bag yet. We got to pump our brakes a little bit, and I'm with you on that. But
shame on us, by the way. It's the Russians. They were only down 3 with like 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're only down 3 with 2 minutes. Anyone else would be like, this game's probably over. But we are talking about Russian Legion. I mean, the best comebacks in the league, really, for the Russians, especially, going back to Texas, where they came back with, I think it was down 5, 2:30 left, and were able to defeat Impact, and that just started the Impact's downhill slide after winning Vegas. And we're in the pits right now, and there he is, the legend himself, Alexander Berdnikov, So yeah, he's up by 4. So Chad George is going to have to come out and in 27 seconds shoot 4 bodies. The tiebreaker is kills to point played ratio. They were tied going into that last point, but Burtnikoff stepped up and got that 4-pack, and that is why he is in the lead for the Golden Barrel right now with just, again, 27 seconds left in this. Smotrov's up there too, and Karslev's in there with 34, but man, Malloy just... there's not enough hyperbole to describe how good that man is at this game. Really, he is just a legend in his own time. That's not an exaggeration.
Pressure, Maddie. Sometimes certain people, you put the pressure on them, it just makes them even better. And he's pretty good on a Thursday afternoon. Let it be Sunday with the sun going down in a 1-point game against Houston Heat.
Here we go. 27 seconds on the clock, and it is tied at 6. Who's going to win the World Cup? That's going to come down to who executes. And look at this reckless run from Leo Smotrov. He goes past the 50 on the break. They also go past the 50 in the center. And they send Pavel Karslev off to the races on the D side. Referee's going to run in and check out Smotrov, and he's going to come off. No penalties yet. It looks like Malloy's going to take over the attack as here comes the counterattack by Fedorov, but the Russians are going to try to steal it from that D side. Do they have enough time? Sergey's going to stump on the buzzer and steal the win with 2 seconds. And we have a penalty thrown, a penalty on Chad George. No, penalty on the Russians. Houston Heat goes wild, and I think the penalty is going to be assessed on the Russian Legion, which might give the win to Houston Heat, but was it a major, was it a minor? We got to sort out all this madness here. Are we going to be heading to an overtime? Were there enough live bodies to pull? Oh my God, it doesn't get any crazier than this. Karslev immediately comes over and he starts screaming at and then Kozyrev is going crazy right now on the sidelines. The Russians are selling it to the crowd. Absolute pandemonium here in Orlando. We're gonna have to review this. The Russians are selling it. Heat is selling it. Jason Trojan was getting an ear beating from Karslev as Pavel Karslev immediately came over to yell at Jason, you need to review that immediately. Unbelievable. We couldn't have got a more dramatic finish here. The Russians are celebrating like they won. Maybe the Russians know something that we don't know. I'm hearing in my ear from downstairs that the point is for Heat. The Heat is out here now, Houston Heat with Konstantin Fedorov and Ryan Moorhead, the MVPs. There might be a possible penalty on Kirill is what I'm hearing. But the MVPs from last year were selling it to the crowd. The Russians are always celebrating like they won. Yeah, this is not done yet. It's still, now there is a point on the board right now for Houston Heat. There's still 2 seconds on regulation time. 7-6 is what I'm looking at on the scoreboard.
Well, the referees definitely checked Sergey and gave the thumbs up. So unless there's a penalty on somebody else that's going to swing this the other way, then Sergey did get hit the buzzer with 2 seconds on the clock.
Jason Trojan has never had a more stressful job than right now. He has to go down and look at the replay and decide who is going to win. There he is right now, actually. He's talking to the Russians. I think he's telling them, hey, I got to go review this. I need to look at this and see what the deal is and figure out exactly, blow for blow, what happened in that. But the Russians and Houston Heat could not have had a closer game. I mean, maybe we could have an overtime point. We don't know. I mean, this game is still at hand.
Well,
I don't know.
Sergey hit the buzzer.
Sergey hit the buzzer, and there was a thumbs up from the ref.
And unless they're calling a major penalty on somebody under a minute.
Let's see if we can figure this out. There goes Smotrov off the break. There was under 30 seconds to go. They also send a body past the 50 in the center. Here comes the staggered attack after Smotrov died. Malloy goes through, and then here comes Konstantin Fedorov and the counterattack. They trade out, but this is where it went down. Sam Monville is going to get taken out here, and there goes Nico Hyde fighting for his life. He gets run down, he gets tapped out, almost run over here by that attacker coming through as Kirill Pridny, but there goes Sergey Sonaisko with time left, 2 seconds on the clock. Sergey hits that buzzer, and then the referees come and check Sergey. He wasn't hit. The penalty goes up. Chad George starts freaking out in celebration. Gun to the sky, and there is our Golden Gun winner, Alexander Burtnikoff, with the 1,000-yard stare, trying to figure out. Of course, he's like the machine still. No, it's fine. We're going to get the win.
Did you see that the ref that threw the flag did have a frontal view of Kirill running in to go shoot Chad George? So it looked like Kirill bunkered out the Dorito side temple clean, but it looked like Chad George may have shot Kirill, and then Kirill shot Chad George. And I think that's what the ref is calling. But the referee could only see the front of Kirill. He couldn't see the front of Chad George.
Okay. Break this down for me. Let's methodically break this down, Todd. Where do you think that major came from?
You can see where Kirill gets hit. If you run that replay again, as Kirill comes through, he goes and he bunkers the Torito Temple clean. But I think you see it on his leg. You see a splatter break off. If you can run that replay again. And then he goes and he shoots Chad George, who was in the can looking that way, right? So the referee that threw the major penalty, he was on the back of Chad George. All he sees is Kirill with the hit on his leg running through. And that's why he threw the major penalty.
Marcelo, what'd you see?
I mean, there was a lot of chaos at the end of that point. I honestly do not know. I would need to see that replay again. I honestly do not know. But I agree with Todd, because after that one replay, it did look like the ref was behind Chad George, saw Kirill get hit. I didn't see anything break off Kirill. I wasn't looking for that. But from the body language, I agree.
All right, we got to go down to Lauren Kelly, because I think Lauren has an update for us. Oh, and look, it's like Houston Heat's going to take the victory. Lauren, what do we got?
Insanity. Yeah, it has been confirmed that major penalty was on Moscow Red Legion. So that win is going to go to Houston Heat.
Unbelievable, dramatic finish. We've never had a closer World Cup game. I can't even remember the last time we had any finals game this close. Houston Heat spilling out onto the field in celebration. Congratulations to Houston Heat. Who do we give the MVP for to in this final matchup? Todd, who's your vote?
Oh, man, I don't know. That's a tough one right there. You know, with the Russian Legion coming back like that, it sure looked pretty tough. But it felt like Konstantin Fedorov led the charge from the beginning. They were able to hold on there at the end, but it seemed like he made the most big plays.
And Marcelo,
here it is.
And there it is. He's hitting the arm. He's hitting the arm right there. So there's the replay right there. He's hitting the arm right here, continuing to run through. That's the major penalty that we saw as Nico Hyde almost wipes it off of him, and he's still shooting. So that's the major penalty that cost the Russian Legion the tournament, which is a tough break for Kirill Peredny, who is also just an amazing guy and a legend in his own right as well, too. But hey, massive congratulations to Houston Heat. I agree. I think Konstantin Fedorov gets the finals MVP. Konstantin Fedorov, he was the difference maker out here. And in fact, if he didn't run down and stop Malloy and get that shot in on this side of the field, it could have been a different situation. And I can't think of somebody else.
I agree, Maddie. I think I would have to give it to Fedorov as well. Like Todd said, he had so many big plays that match. I mean, so many of the players from Houston Heat stepped up. Obviously, it's the only way you win a World Cup. But that man right there on your screen had some huge plays.
Now, we've talked about Konstantin Fedorov. He always has a massive moment here at World Cup. We're watching him here dance around, and rightfully so. He's such a hype player, so skilled, so methodical, such a straight stone-cold killer out here. And what an amazing, legendary run he's had with all these World Cup finishes here, Todd.
Yeah, just I swear it's got to be at least like 10 or 12 straight World Cup finals that he's played in. He's just an amazing player, and in the biggest moments, he steps up the most.
Yeah, he really does. Now, we are going to give the Golden Gun. The Golden Gun is going to be going to the man Malloy. It's going to go into Alexander Burtnikov. No one could catch him. He's winning. He's the best killer of 2019 through 5 events. Now, the Golden Barrel, I'm not sure yet. I would like to get a look here. I believe Malloy also won the Golden Barrel here, which would be, so yes, I just got confirmation. Just got confirmation that at 46 confirmed kills is the final one there. 46 confirmed kills, and that seals up the Golden Barrel. So we will be giving Malloy the Golden Barrel. He gets the Golden Gun, he gets the Golden Barrel. And so we're gonna give the finals MVP. Now, who do we give the overall MVP to here at this event?
I think we gotta go with Archie. For me, that performance in Philadelphia is one of the better performances in the finals I've seen in a very long time. He took the full sweep that event, played phenomenally. His team won 2 events. They win the series title. I think it's got to be Archie Montemayor, but that's just my vote up here.
X Factor won the series title.
X Factor wins the series title. That's how close this was. If the Russians win, if that call goes a different way, if Kirill doesn't get that major, the Russians win the World Cup and they win the series title. But now, Archie Montemayor and the boys from San Antonio X Factor, they get the series title with 2 wins. So I think that is now edging into Archie Montemayor's favor. I would like your guys' opinion.
And we're positive about that because I thought...
Yes, positive.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
That's what I was told from Jason before that this one started. I could crunch some numbers. We're obviously a little busy right now.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Archie Montemayor resume for the 2019 season. Tournament MVP, Golden Barrel winner, Series MVP.
Best move.
And 2 tournaments. Two
Yeah,
tournament
tournaments. I
victories.
think we got to give him the overall. He's
I
got to
think
get
so.
the overall MVP. So Archie Montemayor is going to be the overall MVP award winner here for anybody on any team for 2019. I think he deserved it. Malloy was obviously right in there. If they had won this one, might have shifted it a little bit. He did get run down by Konstantin Fedorov, who's going to win the finals MVP. What an amazing performance here to see Houston Heat again repeating as world champs. What a year. Houston Heat, so consistent, second, fourth, fifth, and third. But that's also how crazy and how good X Factor was, that they still, with those numbers on finishes, that they can win the overall series title. I don't know the exact score yet, but still. So X Factor wins the series. Houston Heat repeats as World Cup champions. They didn't win any events in Europe. It was frustrating over there. They didn't win any events over here, but so close, constantly making it into the semis, perennially in the semis. I mean, if we go back and look at the last event, Houston Heat, they beat Revo in the quarterfinals. They lose to X Factor by 1. Then at the third event in Philadelphia, they lose to the Russians by 1 and end up taking 5th. And then they took 4th place and ended up still in 2nd at all. They lost to AC Dallas, and then they were in the finals and they lost to Impact at the first one. It looks like Lauren Kelly is with our world champs. Let's listen in.
Yes, I am our 2019 World Champs, back-to-back World Cup champs. Ryan, you guys found out that you won that. I swear I saw blood in your eyes. How did it feel? That was one of the controversial World Cup matches I've ever seen.
It wasn't too controversial. We had it the whole time. No, but for real, I mean, we were intense all weekend. Everyone stepped up when they had to, and I couldn't be more proud of everyone here supporting us, everyone here on the field. Words right now, this is pretty emotional and pretty exceptional.
All right, well, I want to give you a chance.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank our sponsors. We have HK Army, DLX Technologies. Fans across the world, everyone. If it wasn't for every single person here, we couldn't have done it.
All right, well, congratulations. You also have... Go ahead and celebrate.
Cheers. Yes.
Again, champions here at the World Cup. Houston Heat repeating 2 years in a row that Houston Heat is our World Cup champs. Unbelievable performance from pretty much everyone on the squad. If we kind of break it down man for man, we still have to award the Golden Barrel. So we got Carbon and Walker out there from the Golden Barrel. And I don't know if he has everyone. Yeah, it looks like Matt Jackson. We got Malloy. Yeah, everyone's out there. So we're going to be giving out the Golden Barrel trophies from each of these tournaments here. And Randy Smith should be super impressed and mad respect to the Houston Heat franchise as they put it together in 2012. That team is built to win. And finally here in 2019, they put a win together, and it's not, you can't find a bigger stage to win a tournament here other than the NXL World Cup. So yeah, we have Walker from Carbon out here to hand out some Golden Barrels. Yeah, so, and just the Houston Heat, Nico Hyde stepped up. Ryan Moorhead played lights out. Chad George was in the running for the Golden Barrel. He played great too. Sam Monville got the start and just up that center of the field. And let's go down to Lauren Kelly. Looks like she has Walker with Carbon and to give the Golden Barrel to their winner.
Yes. Got Malloy. Congratulations. I know that, you know, taking second isn't what you want. You guys fought so hard all weekend long, all season long. Six, 46 kills. How does that feel?
Not enough. You see, final, this is not enough.
Well, is there anyone you want to thank at least for helping you get to this finals match?
Once again, please.
Is there anyone you want to thank for helping you? Yes.
Yeah, first, I want say thank you my family, and want say thank you my second family. My second family, this is my team.
Well, congratulations. And I also have to award you with the Golden Gun for the most kills of the 2019 season. Congratulations. Were you expecting that?
No, I don't know. Because we have some battle with Pavel Karsliv. And, okay, I am a little bit older, he young, on the future. He have future. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You guys so hard. You're always so entertaining to watch. That is all I've got down here. Our winner of the Golden Gun and the Golden Barrel. Insane. Back to you guys.
Oh my God, what a crazy finish. I can't even remember. Todd, you can remember a more dramatic finish at World Cup than that?
Not right off the top of my head, Matty.
Yeah, Marcelo?
I mean, that's pretty crazy. You know, that's a pretty crazy finish. 7-6. What a high-scoring game. It was nonstop action the entire time. That was one of the better matches I've seen in a very, very long time.
Big congratulations to Houston Heat. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. What a great season here in the NXL, and thank you guys for sticking with us at GoSports.com. 2020 is going to be even better. We got 5 Sundays dropping documentary content. I'm going to be doing shows every week. Going to get Marcelo and Todd on some of those as well too. Also going to be throwing a different type of show, and it's going to be called Go Sports Tactics. We're going to be breaking down specific points, specific moves, and get intricate and talking about all that stuff. So again, thank you guys. What an amazing World Cup. Shout out to the NXL. Doing an amazing job. I think this might have been the biggest paintball tournament on planet Earth. Last year it was the biggest one. I didn't get a chance to confirm because of all these different divisions that you can play on. 10-man. Yeah, looks like 30 more teams, but it's also about player count, but still amazing. So unbelievable job by the NXL this season. Again, and thank you guys so much. We do this for you. We're trying to provide a showcase for this beautiful sport that we love so much. And we're going to, again, be doing it even better in 2020. So Matty Marshall, Marcelo Margot, Todd Martinez, and on behalf of our entire broadcast crew, see you guys next year.